Hello everyone, welcome to the first lesson of the Object-Oriented Programming with Python. In this lesson, we will learn about programming paradigm. First of all, let's define programming paradigm. A programming paradigm is a style or way of programming. Programming paradigm is an approach to solve problems using a programming language. It is a way to classify programming languages based on their features. So, how many programming languages are there? Wikipedia listed about 700 programming languages from A to Z. The online historical encyclopedia of programming languages stated that there are 8,945 programming languages from the 18th century to the present. The TIOB index shows that there are 50 most popular programming languages in use today, and Python is in the top 3. A programming paradigm is a fundamental style of computer programming. In programming, there are two main categories to classify a language. They are declarative and imperative. With declarative programming, we as programmers tell a computer what to do and not how to do. We describe the results that we want and let the computer language interpreter handle the details of how to achieve the results. With imperative programming, we write the program to tell the computer how to do it. The program consists of commands or instructions for the computer to perform. Let's use an example to illustrate the difference. In declarative programming, we tell the computer what to do. In this example, we say build a tower with 3 blocks. In imperative programming, we write the instructions to tell the computer how to do it. In this example, the instructions are: Step 1, place block A. Step 2, place block B on top of block A. Finally, place block C on top of block B. Programming paradigms are important because they define a programming language and how it works. A good rule to follow when exploring paradigms is to understand what they are good at. It is true that most modern programming languages are general purpose and can do just about anything, but different approaches can be better in some cases and worse in others. For example, it might be more difficult to develop a game in a functional language than an object-oriented language. Now let's explore further. There are two main categories of declarative programming paradigm: logic and functional programming. Prolog and Datalog are examples of logic programming languages, whereas Lisp and R are functional programming languages. We won't be discussing this in detail, but I'll show you some examples. Logic programming is a programming paradigm which is based on formal logic. The program is a set of sentences in logical form expressing facts and rules about some problem domain. Here's an example from Prolog. Prolog programs describe relations defined by clauses. There are two types of clauses: facts and rules. A rule is of the form head and body, and is read as head is true if body is true. In this example, these 4 statements are facts. The relations are mother-child and father-child. Christine is the mother of Jam and Sunny. Ethan is the father of Sunny and Jam. 3 rules are defined. If Z is a parent of X and Z is a parent of Y, then X and Y are siblings is true. If X is the father of Y, then X is a parent of Y is true. Based on the facts and the rules, this query will be evaluated as true. We have seen an example of logic programming. Let's learn about functional programming. The example that we will consider is Lisp. Lisp is a popular programming language for AI research. The functions are written as lists, and the list is expressed with its elements separated by white space and surrounded by brackets. This is how you would print the message "Hello World" on the screen, and define a function called double. The function takes an input parameter and multiplies it by 2. We have briefly explained decorative programming paradigm. Let's move on to imperative programming paradigm. There are also two main types, procedural and object-oriented. C and Pascal are examples of procedural programming languages. Both C++ and Python are considered multi-paradigm because the programs can be written in procedural and object-oriented programming style. What do we mean by that? In procedural programming, the building blocks of the programs are functions or procedures. However, in object-oriented programming, the building blocks are objects and classes. In Python, we define functions using the keyword def. We can also define and call functions in C++. Both Python and C++ also allow us to express the program using objects and classes. Here is an example in Python where we use the keyword class to define a class called triple, and it contains a function. To use the class, we construct an object called num and then display the result of num, which is 27. We will be learning more about object-oriented programming in Python in this course. In this lesson, we have learned about the two main categories of programming paradigm, decorative and imperative. For each category, we have used examples to illustrate logic, functional, procedural, and object-oriented programming. We have also learned that Python is a type of object-oriented programming, and its programs can be expressed using functions too. This makes Python a multi-paradigm programming language. In the next lesson, you will download and install Python and also install the integrated development environment called PyCharm.